Welcome to the 7th Floor Coogs podcast, where tradition meets today. We're your go-to podcast for all things University of Houston sports. All teams, all eras, all heart. We're not just fans. We're former Cougar athletes who lived the grind, wore the jersey, competed with pride, and still ride with the red and white. From big wins to hard losses, locker room moments to campus memories, this is where we keep Cougar spirit alive. Whether you're a loyal returning listener or you're tuning in for the first time, welcome to the family. This is your front row seat to game breakdowns, player insights, bold opinions, and plenty of Cougar pride. We'll be covering it all: football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, track, and more. If U of H competes in it, we're talking about it. And yeah, we've got some stories you've never heard, but definitely want to. So get ready. This isn't just another sports podcast. This is the 7th Floor Coogs All Access Podcast. Let's get into it. Well, how you doing there, Sully? Nothing.
Sorry about that. Hey, I'm doing great, Kev. How are you doing today?
Good. Doing fine. So glad to see you again. This is going to be our second show. I'm excited. I don't know about you. We're going to expand out a little bit. We're going to talk very little volleyball, since there's not really much to talk about. But we're going to tap into a little cross country. I know that you are a little bit of a cross country guy, a little cross country fan. So we'll go there and we'll touch base on that. And then, of course, a lot of football to talk about. What I figured that we would talk about is obviously the Cougars win. Yay. Let's give it a little clap.
Go Coogs.
And we will also talk about there were some crazy games this weekend, man. Some upsets and some big games. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. How's that sound?
Yeah, a great week of college football. Unbelievable.
Yeah, really was. So let's go ahead and get started with women's volleyball. Sully, I got to tell you, man, in my house, volleyball is kind of king because my wife is from Nebraska, and they are like the number one team year in and year out in the nation. So just to let you know, I'm watching every volleyball game going. But as far as U of H volleyball goes, what I got to tell you is not so good. Not so good. They haven't been so good in the last couple of years. I guess they've been okay, but they're on a 3-game win streak right now. They are currently, that definitely works. Yeah, they're currently unranked. And looking at the top, I guess 100 or so schools, they're kind of like about 50, 60, somewhere in there. But they've got high hopes for the season. So just for those people who are volleyball fans of U of H, just want to let you know that the women are amazing to watch. They're really good at what they do. And their next game is against San Diego State. That would be September 5th, which is probably in 2 days, like Friday, because we're doing this show on a Wednesday here. So if you get a chance to watch that, it'll actually be on ESPN, Sully. So there you go. Moving on up.
Are the conferences the same in volleyball as U of H women? Are they Big 12 volleyball? Or
yes, the women are Big 12. They're in the Big 12 volleyball. The Big 12 is a relatively good conference for volleyball. Texas actually won the whole thing 2 years ago. So, they're not in the Big 12, but just as far as Texas schools, Texas has a lot of good volleyball teams. A lot of good volleyball is being played here. Baylor's got a good team, but like I said, Texas won it about 2 years ago. U of H is a long way from winning the conference and a long way from winning nationals. This is going to be one of those tests for the athletic director, Eddie Nunez, because along with basketball and football, you want other programs to be winning as well, to be a competitor in the Big 12, looked on with a lot of respect in the Big 12. And this is one of those sports. I don't know if you know it, but they fired the women's softball coach from last year because of a lot of trouble and a lot of this, that, and the other thing, but they weren't winning. So, and they fired the basketball coach too, the women's basketball coach, because they weren't winning. And we'll see what happens with the volleyball team. But Nunez has made it clear, if you're not a winning coach, if we don't have a winning team, if we're not in the Big 12 mix in every sport, coaches are going to be looked at. And so who knows what they're going to do with volleyball, but I do know that that's the serious nature of what's going on there. So,
Wasn't there a time when University of Houston women's volleyball was pretty good? Wasn't Flo Hyman like
yes. Oh,
was an
yes.
Olympian or something like that? Or
Yes. Yes. Yes,
yeah, so
definitely. It was pretty good. But, teams go up and down, but more importantly is the competitive nature. I think that that's what Nunez, the athletic director, wants to see us competing in every sport. We don't want to, we don't want to be, we don't want to look terrible in the Big 12. This is the big time, and if we're gonna, it all comes down to money. I mean, it really all comes down to money. And these sports have got to raise themselves up to make that kind of money that they need to help the programs move forward. So.
well,
There you
that's
go.
awesome that we're trying to hold all the teams to the same level of expectation. Yeah, so
Yes. Yeah.
winning attitude.
Yeah.
That's great.
Awesome. And then, Sully, it's time to move on to what you wanted to talk about, a little bit of cross country. Have you met Zach Miller?
I have not, but I have. Very happy to hear that U of H had the individual winner in the cross country meet this weekend, and
Yes.
that would
Yes.
be Zach Miller.
That would exactly be Zach. My question to you is 17:58. Is that pretty good for a 6K? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a competitive time. Yeah, you know, I don't think he's nationally will still he still has some room of improvement, but that's really good. And I think he's a is he a freshman or
Yes, he
sophomore?
is. Yes.
Freshman. So that's great. That's great. First race out as a college cross country runner, first place. That's fantastic. And I mean, the men didn't win like the women, but they had some other good performances. It's a great first race for U of H cross country.
As a freshman winning his first meet. He's actually from San Antonio, and I believe the race was in San Antonio. So he was kind of home field advantage there for Zach, but very excited for the cross country team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I guess you're leading into the women's cross country. They won their first cross country race since I think 2021.
Yeah.
And they almost had a perfect score. I mean, they didn't have the winner of the race, but they had Addison Height. She was second.
Mm-hmm.
And Cadence Patterson was third.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were closely followed by fifth, sixth, and 11th. So that's a great score.
Yeah.
Because obviously cross country, you have seven runners on a team and your top five score. And every once in a while, if there's a tie, it goes to the sixth place runner. And
Yeah.
if that was a tie, it would continue on. Well, it won't be a tie because one sixth place runner would have to beat the other sixth place runner. So it's decided by the sixth place runner.
Right. Right. And so like you were saying, it's their first win in a couple of years there. Maybe are they on the come? Do you think? What do you think?
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not even sure I know who the cross country coaches are, but
Mm-hmm.
we haven't seen them up in the rankings in a while, so it'd be great to see them get back, you know, it, to a ranked cross country status.
Yeah, definitely, because it will help our favorite sport, which is track and field, when we get some good distance runners in there. So, all right, man. I guess it's time to move on to football.
Yeah, baby, it's football season.
That's right, my friend. Well, the Cougs defeated Stephen F. Austin in their first game of the season. As you can see, some of the numbers down there for Connor Wegman. I saw the game. I enjoyed the game. Of course, we want to enjoy the win, but I'm kind of interested. You were talking a little bit before the show about an interview that you had with you heard with Willie Fritz there. Go ahead and fill me in on what you heard there.
Well, he was very upbeat. He said he had to get some of the kinks out, and they said early in the season, offense usually always trails defense. It takes a while to catch up, and was pretty much the scenario for all the college games this year. Like with slow starts in a lot of games, defense usually rules in the beginning. Offense takes a while. Uh, they need more live action reps. So yeah, so he has high hopes for Wegman. I mean, Wegman had three TDs.
Yeah,
As he said, he felt like he's putting it together. Very happy about the tight end, Tanner
yeah.
Kuziel.
Mhm.
He they asked him about his health because he came out of the game, and
Yeah.
Fritz says he should be okay. Um, he said that he probably could have came back in the game if needed, but
Yeah.
they were winning. I don't 20. Obviously, they won 27-0. I don't know what the exact score was when he went out, but they decided to rest him and get him ready for Rice.
Good. Hey, I don't blame you. I told you on our first show that I thought that guy was going to be a monster, and he turned out to be. I got to tell you, the defense looked stellar. The defense really, really showed up and played well. I really enjoyed watching the defense. The offense was definitely slow. The first half for Connor Wegman was not good. He did not, in my opinion, look like a five-star recruit like everybody has touted him to be. I mean, even in the first touchdown pass that he threw to Tanner Koziel, he Tanner was wide open in the end zone, and he almost overthrew him. So
Yeah.
he had to make a little bit of a circus catch. But in the second touchdown pass was right on target, hit the receiver right in stride, and that looked pretty good. But we're going to need a little bit better output to play against Rice. Not that Rice is a world beater by any sense of the imagination, but it's one of those teams we beat last year. We don't want to backslide and fall to them this year. But when it comes to Rice, there's a couple of things that we need to really pay attention to with them. They are getting a little bit better, and we have had a long history of playing against Rice. Bet you didn't know that, so. you,
No.
you you did, because their first time they played together was back in 71. But here's the stats right here. We've got 34 wins against Rice, against 12 losses, 16-5 at home, 17-7 at Rice, which will be this weekend. And last year, we did them. We trounced them pretty good. So like I said, we don't want to backslide in any of that stuff, but we'll see what happens Saturday. But I'm still on track. Like I told you last week, we're going to go 4-0. Okay, so I'm still on track for that. We'll see what happens against Rice.
No, I agree. We can't look past Rice. I mean, a loss to Rice would really set us back. Uh, Unfortunately, I'm under the impression that they're discontinuing the Bayou Bucket, the rivalry after this year. I don't know if they're going to bring it back in, but it's not scheduled for next year.
Well, yeah, I have heard that as well. It's really not a rivalry. I mean, what can you say? It's really not a rivalry. Granted, we're across town, but we're in the big leagues now, and something like that, playing Rice once a year, a cupcake once a year, does not look good on your schedule. So that's why, if you look at, and we will in a minute, some of the other teams that played around the country, I mean, they were playing big dogs, and they're a big dog themselves. And so I really think that, again, Nunez is trying to upgrade our schedule, upgrade our reputation, and even teams like Stephen F. might not be back on the schedule in a year or two. Teams that are playing in the mid majors and not the Power Four, excuse me. And so I think that's just one of those things that's going to go by the wayside. Just one of those kind of situations, and it's not a bad thing, but it does end a long tradition.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing us discontinue, or I don't know if we play yearly Stephen F. Austin, but it's nice. I know it's not a rivalry, Rice, but it's a long-standing tradition, if not
True,
if not a
true.
rivalry. And college football is losing a lot of those, so it's sad to see it go. But I understand. I agree with you. We have to upgrade our schedule if we want to be taken seriously
Yeah.
in the Big 12, right?
Yeah, and I'm sorry about that. It's just that's just the way that sports is these days. I mean, we suffered through some of that when the Southwest Conference broke up, where every game was a rivalry. Every game was a fight. But now that things are spread across the countryside, and we're in the Big 12 now, we really need to up our game a little bit. And let's take a look at this weekend, man. This weekend was crazy. The top 25 currently, as it stands right there on the right-hand side, you can see Ohio State, Penn State, LSU, Georgia, and Miami, the first five. But let's talk about some of these games, man. Ohio State and Texas. What do you think about that game?
Well, I was expecting, like I think the rest of the country, big things out of Arch Manning, and he looked shaky at best starting out. And I'm a Manning fan because I'm a Giant fan. So, uh, I was not that Texas is. I have any love loss for Texas, but would like to see Arch Manning do well. I think the class, but no, he looked really shaky. But when everything's said and done, they lost by 7 points,
Yeah,
and Texas got stopped on fourth down. They got stopped 4 times on fourth down.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Ohio State stopped them 4 out of 5 times that they went for it on fourth down, and one being on like the 1 yard line. So I mean,
yeah.
essentially that's a tie game, and it's being played in Ohio State in a horseshoe. I mean, that's hostile,
Hostile
conditions.
territory. Yeah,
Yeah, territory.
yeah,
And I mean, that's why sometimes, like, you don't want to play the cupcakes.
yeah.
But for a guy for Arch Manning, I know he's been there for 2 years, but like,
Right,
you would like to see him ease into the season. Like, there's no exhibitions in college
right.
in college
Exactly,
football. I mean, so
exactly.
you go from, they don't hit a lot in practice as much because they want to keep all the plays safe, but that's a
Yep.
fine line. And then live action is a different animal.
Yeah, I
So
agree with you. Archie did not look good at all. I'll be honest with you. In my opinion, did not look good at all. And Texas was still in the ball game. You're exactly right. So
two
they got
great
knocked down.
defenses.
Yeah, they got knocked down to seventh, but I think they'll still make the playoff with quite handily. I think they'll be in the top 3 or 4 there. Did you happen to see the Notre Dame game? Notre Dame Miami.
I did. One of the best catches I've ever seen in college football.
Whoa! And I'll be honest with you, if you're really watching that play, if he doesn't make the catch one handed like that, that ball is intercepted. That guy was standing right there waiting for
hundred
it.
percent, a hundred
I
percent.
was standing right there waiting for it. And
Yes,
if he didn't make that catch, that ball was going the other way. But what a
and they
catch!
they had defenders on.
Yeah,
He was blanketed. He was
right,
covered
right, front and
in
back.
front and back. Yeah. So yeah, no. Um, yeah, that was a crazy game, but I think Miami outplayed them, which
Yeah, I
shocked
agree with
me.
you. I agree with you. Miami, it looks like it's the real deal this year, and I was very impressed with them. And Notre Dame didn't look Notre Dame-ish. They kind of looked shaky or something. They weren't ready or something. I don't know, but they just didn't look. I mean, granted the game was close, but Miami really outplayed them. Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh-huh.
Um, I think one of the biggest shockers was Florida State beating Alabama, and not. I mean,
Oh
boat racing.
yes,
I mean, that was crazy.
yes.
But I think people forget that Florida State was undefeated 2 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and they kind of got you know screwed out of the college
Uh-huh.
football
Yes,
playoffs,
yes, that's right. You're
and they
exactly
wound up
right.
losing their bowl game because all their
Players,
pro
yeah,
guys just they didn't
yeah,
play the game, so
yeah,
it wasn't indicative. So they basically had an undefeated season, and then last year they just you know blew up.
yeah,
I think they had 2 wins last year,
yeah,
or three at the most, which is
yeah.
crazy. So maybe they're back to Florida State of old.
Maybe they certainly shocked Alabama, but Alabama, they just didn't show up. I'm sorry, they just did not show up. Well, anyway, Sully, I think the TCU North Carolina game was a little bit of a surprise. Nobody expected Belichick to get smacked like he did, but it is a different game between the pros and college. Do you think Belichick's North Carolina Tar Heels are going to do anything this year, or what?
Uh, I do not. I don't think they have the personnel. They started off like drove down the field and scored on first possession, and I thought, wow, North Carolina's back. But as the game went on, they just seemed to be outmanned at most positions, and I think Belichick, if he winds up staying, which I think he signed like a 3-year contract or something.
Yeah,
Uh, I have no doubt he's a brilliant coach. It's a different game, but I just don't think he has the personnel right now. So
yeah, yeah. Well, college football at least is not it's not a coaching thing. It's a talent thing. And if your coach can't bring in the talent, no matter how good a coach he is, they're just not going to do well. And I'm surprised that Belichick, with his name and reputation, and guys always wanting to leave college and go to the pros, I'm surprised that he can't get better talent. But that's exactly what they need there in North Carolina for the spanking they got from TCU.
Yeah, I mean, I think eventually, if they have, well, let's hope they're even better than last year because they didn't look better than last year's North Carolina team. But I think he'll be able to recruit. I think he maybe got off to a late start, and then all the noise about his girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
probably, it
Yes.
gave them attention, national attention, but maybe not the attention he needed to land top 5-star recruits.
True. I agree with you there, Sully. Well, Saul, it's about time to close down this puppy. We've talked a little bit about Coug stuff. And as always, it's the end of the show. So it's time for a shout out, buddy. Anybody, anything you want to shout out?
I'd just like to shout out congratulations to the U of H women's cross country team on their first
Yes.
victory in 3 years, and men's with a great showing as well. And we'll be rooting for them all season long.
There you go. I don't blame you there. I know that's a sport near and dear to your heart, buddy. I'm going to shout out the football team for going 1-0 this year, which is awesome. They looked a whole heck of a lot better in this year's Open than they did in last year's Open. And like I said, I'm really pulling for them to go 4-0 before they hit the rough spots in the Big 12 conference schedule. So anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. We are the 7th Floor Cougs. I am Keemer, and for Mr. Sully Sullivan, we'll say later. Good night, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Adios, my man.
All right. Later, buddy.
Go Cougs.